So you want to start a solar panel cleaning business? Well, let me tell you, my name is Henry and this is Susan, and we are here to tell you about starting a solar panel cleaning business. We've been doing this for 4 years, and we wanted to do a series of podcasts here on YouTube. And for those of you who don't know who we are, so you can listen to what we have to say about starting this business. We've been doing this for 40 plus years, and we have trained a lot of people into this business itself. And so we wanted to kind of do this first podcast with solar panel cleaning, getting into the business, and basically trying to figure out what you should expect, and things that are going to hinder you, and so forth. So, we run into problems every day. I mean, and sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. We just, it just basically depends on what day it is, what time it is. And when we go out here and we started this business, Rick and myself, 4 years ago, there was no competition whatsoever. So one of the things that we want to kind of point out is, when you're starting your business, what to look out for, what you guys should be paying attention to, and so forth. So, we run into new people every single day coming into this business, and this business right here is going to be a seasonal business for you guys, unless you go out there and add more services. There's quite a bit of services that people have added on to the business itself. Don't you agree?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, such as the solar panel cleaning business. What kind of business? What kind of services do people look at when they're getting into the business?
Gutter cleaning,
So we have
turf cleaning, barbecue cleaning, pool cleaning.
So those are just add-ons that you're seeing people getting into the business, and so forth. And we try to educate people when it comes to getting into the business, as far as what you're going to be spending, money that you're going to be spending in the business itself. There's a lot of questions people have. They ask, how much does it cost to get into this business, and or what we should be looking out for. And this is where we kind of did this channel, the SoCal Solar Panel Cleaning channel, and we wanted to make sure that we gave you all the good information that you guys were looking for when it came to that. So what are some of the things that people are going to run into when they're starting this business?
How much money it costs to start a business?
A lot of people will kind of sit there and say it doesn't cost a whole lot to start the business, but when in fact, when you do your homework, and when you go out there and decide, oh, I'm going to be getting into the business, a lot of people don't have transportation getting into the business. They don't have the equipment, they don't have the mindset as far as marketing, and so forth. There's a lot of things that come into play when you are starting your business. There's a lot of businesses that will fail because a lot of them will try to undercut their competitor. In turn, they will undercut the market, and customers are getting wise to that now. You're not seeing prices. When I first started out, prices were pretty high as far as cleaning solar panels, and then we ended up getting more competition. We have over 100 new businesses for solar panel cleaning just in our area alone. So we want to kind of just enlighten you on starting this business, what to look out for. So, for example, we always like to tell people, do a Google search, search on Google Maps, find out how many people are actually in your area that have a solar panel cleaning business. There's a lot of people that get into the business. A lot of other companies like to do the services, like window cleaning companies will come in and they'll add a solar panel cleaning service. And let's be honest, it's an unregulated industry, and it's wide open. It's wide open for anybody and everybody. There are kids just getting their vehicles and starting this business for peanuts, for nothing, and those are the ones that like to undercut anybody else because they see the fast cash that can be made. And one of the things is when you are cleaning solar panels, you can make a lot of money. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. You can.
You can. And there's other services that you can offer, like bird proofing, putting a netting around the solar panels, that you can even make 4 times more money just doing that. So we get a lot of people like in the pest control industry that would try to, start doing these services. And you have, like you said, pool guys out there that are trying to get into this business. And there's just so many people that are looking at this industry now. And, it's something that you don't need a license for other than a business license itself. But other than that, it's not a whole lot that it takes to start this business, And one of the things that I did when we first started about 4 years ago was we looked at a lot of competition here in Southern California, and there was probably 2 people doing it at that time. And so when we started the business, we made a lot of money, especially in the first couple of weeks. We were doing roughly around $10,000 on the first week, and then the second week we were doing just as much because there was a lot of people calling us, and we were booking, and we were going out there and really concentrating on just 7-8 cleanings a day. And then it became a little bit more stressful when we had competition figuring out how much money they could make. And so we started seeing quite a few people coming into the business itself. And then we had the problems a few years later where they would come in and undercut some of our services by almost half. And that was a huge problem for a lot of people that were getting into the business. And we try to stress to a lot of people that this is a seasonal business. When it rains, you don't get a whole lot of phone calls when it rains, but you will get a lot of calls during the summer. Summertime, you can be extremely busy 3 weeks out, a month out, a month and a half out. It just depends how many people find you on the internet or how well you're doing your advertising. We just got phone calls today, as a matter of fact, from advertisers trying to, push the business and trying to get us out there to where we can promote the business itself. But after 4 years, we've grown organically on the internet, so we don't have to go out there and market ourselves through Google Ads or any type of ad placement whatsoever. We don't have to do that just because we have people that come to us. So would you say that there's a lot of people that come to us, or we go to them? I mean, how does that? How are you seeing that as far as the marketing is concerned?
Well, for me, 2 years coming into this business with Henry, a year or two, I've noticed commercial clients have been coming to us we've never gone to a commercial, and a lot of people who want to get into the business want to get into commercial right away. But if you're lucky, maybe you might run into somebody that owns a commercial business, and they might suggest that, hey, we have solar panels. Can you come out and clean our panels, or can you give me a quote? But reality is,
it's one of the biggest mistakes
you can't
people
get
do.
into commercial right away because, number one, they don't know who you are. You haven't established yourself yet as a business, so they don't know what you can show for.
And that's one of the biggest mistakes that people make, especially getting into this business, is they jump before they learn how to walk or crawl or what have you. And so right away they're looking at the fast cash and what have you. There are people out here that use the wrong equipment for solar panel cleanings, and they're out there an hour, 2 hours, when we can do something with the right equipment in about 15 minutes. And they're taking on bigger jobs and don't have the right equipment. And that's one of the things that we really try to instill in people getting into this business, is to make sure that you have the right equipment, you have the right knowledge, and to go after some of these commercial accounts or industrial accounts. Or
the first thing that you need to do when you want to start your business is to look at what competition you have out there. Do your homework and see how many people are doing what you are trying to get into.
Yeah,
and if you see that there's so many people in that industry, you kind of have to rethink, okay, am I really going to make money because all these other companies are already doing that in the areas that I live in, or do I have to travel further out where there's not much competition to, start my business? And then you have to put yourself out there as a company on Google so that they could see.
So that's marketing.
So get into marketing, find out how you're going to market your business, and then coming up with a company name. I think that's important because when people do a search, you want to make sure that your title has to do with what business you're starting.
Right, and that's very important, because a lot of people miss that as far as keywords that people are searching for. So, for example, like us, we are SoCal, Southern California, solar panel cleaning company. So when somebody does a search for solar panel cleaning company in Southern California, we come up organically in Google, Yahoo, Bing, and so people are able to find us fairly easy. But if you had ABC solar repair and maintenance, or something like that, then it's kind of more difficult that somebody's going to find you, and you probably be put lower in the listings themselves as far as Google is concerned, because the keywords aren't really there. There are guys out here that try to trick the system, and they'll put two different addresses, one maybe in one city and one in another city, and they're trying to get it that way. But after a while, Google will figure it out. And one of the things is, if Google catches you try to do shortcuts by giving a false name, giving false addresses, something's not accurate, they won't have a problem suspending your account, and it's very hard for you to open up
to get it back again.
To get it back again, yeah, you're right, on Google itself.
So if you have, let's say, 20, 30 reviews, you can lose them all.
You can.
And you start from scratch.
In a heartbeat. And that's and it's happened. We've seen people that actually had 20, 30 reviews, and then they did something or made a change or something, and it ended up screwing up their account, and they had to start all over. And it's very frustrating, because Google's not the easiest platform to try to get a hold of to have them correct any mistakes itself. Now, I want to talk about money getting into this business. I think getting into this business with very little money is a huge mistake.
Well, like I said, the first step is do your homework and think about how much money you think you're planning on wanting to start your business, because you have to consider marketing is one of the important things that you want to put your money into to get your business out there for people to see who you are as
What-
a company.
but people they
But
don't think about that. They don't think about
well, that's why we're here to tell people this is what you
right.
should do your, like I said, you do your homework. Figure out your company name, and if that company name fits with what you're doing, then look into, okay, how am I going to market my business? Oh, you also have to get your business license.
Well, that's a separate thing
Yeah.
altogether. Okay, so you're out here doing marketing and trying to get all that, but when you go and get your business, and I think we're kind of jumping ahead of ourselves here too, because when you go and you are interested in getting a business, you got to go out there and get your business license. You got to think about insurance. You got to think about getting into a bank account, incorporating your business. A lot of people look at that and they want to incorporate their business right away.
And you also have to think about, if you want to get into this business, if it's just a weekend hobby that you want to do, or is it going to be a new full-time job? And if you're planning on leaving the company you're working for and you want to start your own business, are you going to focus more on your business and not anything else but that? Because if let's say you're already working because you have a full-time job and you need the extra money, so you start this business just on the weekends. Well, sometimes a lot of customers don't want their cleanings done on the weekends. They want it done during the week.
Would you say, okay, with that being said, would you say that most customers want this done weeks later, right away? What are you seeing as far as, I mean, you do the scheduling for us. What are you seeing as far as customers, what their flexibility is? I mean, how does that work when it comes to booking appointments and all that?
Well, each customer is different. Some, they may want, oh, well, we're not home during the week, because we're working. Can you come on the weekend? Or some say, well, I'll be home during the week. Or some will say, I'm going on vacation. Can you come back the following week? It just depends on each customer, so you got to be prepared on, sometimes you have to work around the customer's schedule instead of your own schedule.
Now, what about, so for example, like commercial, okay? There's commercial accounts that we get. Is that something that we do during the week, or is that we do on the weekends? I mean, what is that looking like when it comes to commercial accounts?
It depends on the company. Sometimes you can get away with doing it during the week. A lot of times they want to do it on the weekend because nobody's at work, especially if you're cleaning carports at a company. If people are working during the week, you can't clean the carports because there's cars parked underneath it. Whereas during the weekend, there's nobody there. You can clean
And schedule.
carports. You can schedule it better on the weekend. But then there's companies that say, no, we want it done during the week.
Right.
And you just schedule with the company. They'll just have the workers, they'll just have them park somewhere else for that day or however many days until you're done with the job. So it just depends.
So as far as starting a business, okay, you're a new person, you're out here starting your business. Should you have money? Should you have money in the bank? Should you have money to cover your employees?
You should have money in the bank if you want to start your business, because you want to look into equipment. What type of equipment do I need to start this business, and how much is the equipment going to cost? If you want to go the cheaper route, you buy the cheaper equipment because that's all you can afford. That's fine. But then you want to know if it's sufficient enough to get the job done, whether you want to be out there for hours and hours, doing cleaning panels on a house, or do you want less time cleaning panels on top of a house with the better equipment?
So
It just depends on what you want to do.
So as far as residential and commercial, which one pays better? Which one pays quicker? Which one pays longer? In your
Commercial
experience,
doesn't. Commercial pays better, but you don't get your money right away, and that's something that a lot of people that want to get into the business don't understand. Is a lot of companies, you turn in all the paperwork to their accounting department. It's up to the accounting. They usually do a net 30, net 60, net 90. You have to turn in all the paperwork, and then they pay you out later on. You don't get your money right away. So in order for you to pay your employees, you got to make sure you have money to cover that cost until you, as the vendor, gets paid.
so you have to pay, like we do. We'll pay our employees first, get that taken care of. We pay for the equipment. The second, whether you're renting a boom lift, that could be $1,000 just for the weekend to go out there and rent that. Well, the company isn't going to pay you till 30 days, 60 days, 90 days later. Now, the rental companies are expecting their money fairly quickly. Now, if you have to say you don't have a truck and you got to rent a truck and all that money has to come up front. Now, that's all, said for commercial. Now, what about residential? Are there expenses and all that for residential?
Well, yeah, you have to. What if your equipment breaks down? You gotta have a backup plan.
Yeah.
So, and then you gotta make sure that your vehicle is in good running condition. So that can add an extra expense if something breaks down in your vehicle.
Right. But do you get paid right away, or do you get paid? Do you have to wait 30 days? You have to wait 90
Residential,
days?
no, you get paid right away. So if
So
you want,
there's a bonus for that.
there's a bonus to do residential because you get paid right away. But with commercial, you don't get paid right away, and that's what people don't understand, is that you're gonna have to wait for your money to get paid, because a lot of corporate companies, they have to go through the process of when they're paying their vendors. So, and a lot of times you have to keep up with the accounting department or whoever is asking for all your documentation, because maybe it didn't get to the right person, because there's multiple people that are part of the process of the vendor getting paid. So you have to make sure that all your documentation is sent to the right department, right person, and you have to do follow-up calls. Is everything good? Am I going to get paid, 30 days from now, or am I going to get paid 30 days from when I sent the last documentation that you needed?
A lot of that is in the contract, and a lot of that says it in the contract. So always make sure that you read the contract that is given to you, because most of these companies will draw up their own contract, and you're just signing off on it. But they will tell you, hey, we'll pay you in 90 days, we'll pay you in 60 days, we'll pay you in 30 days after the job is done.
Now, some of them, they might do direct deposit, which you'll get your money, in the bank right away, as opposed to waiting for a check to be mailed out to you. But a lot of times you have to just wait, and what you can do in the meantime, you can try to get more residential to keep you
Afloat.
going, or other services that you want to do just to keep you afloat until you get your check from that corporate account. So it just depends on who you're dealing with, that company.